It's a very exciting day on the property because we are just about ready to mill wood from the trees on our own property to build our home. And then we see it up at the top of the mountain. Lightning caused fire. Before I reveal it, I'm gonna bring you guys back a few weeks and get this thing set up. This is the only flat part of our entire property, and we're gonna put a mill on it. It looks like this was somebody's bonfire place before, and there's a ton of ash from a burn pile, so we've got to get rid of that first. This is gonna be our dumping ground. There's already a bunch of rotten trees. I need a little bit further. Oh, you need worms for fishing? Now I'm in the ditch. I need plywood. Maybe I could fill the hole with this. Nice, look at that. We're just moving garbage from one spot to another. We'll have to move that garbage eventually. Welcome, your adventure starts here. Oh, buddy. This is what we're building. All right, let's clap this done. All right, well, we cleared one nest, now we got another. Okay, can you guys see the vision? It's gonna be pretty dang big. We've bolted every single hole now, and we've got the jacks, and we're trying to make it straight. I cannot take credit for setting this mill up. This has taken Parker about 4 or 5 full business days. I could help with some of the wrenching, but he got the entire engine set up, and we are just about ready to go up into our forest. And our first project is going to be choosing a tree that we can mill into shelves for our kitchen.
You ready?
Yeah.
To make sure that the guard is on when you start it, there's these 2 things that have to be hit.
This needs to be filled with water, so we're gonna get some from the well house, conveniently right beside our milling station. Oh gosh, it's gross in here. We haven't seen it since it's been unfrozen. Looks like jellyfish. We're gonna practice a few times before we actually do this to the log that we want to use in our house. So we got it up, and now we have to use the clamps to secure it.
So we're just trying to take the tiniest sliver off just so we have a flat edge that we can rotate it, and then we work from that flat edge for the rest of the cuts.
We're gonna keep the live edge and just strip it down into 3/4 inch boards. These are the pallets that our Norwood sawmill came on, so we're just reusing them. You want the airflow underneath them, just like the firewood shed that we built. Normally you'd want to give it about a year per inch of thickness of wood. These are 3/4 inches, so they need the better part of the year. That's more for like furniture grade. If you're using it for framing or just putting up a shelf, sheds, outdoor structures, decks, you can be a bit more lenient. You definitely want to give it a couple days to dry out because it'll be really wet at first. But so I am partnering with Norwoods. This is not a paid partnership, but I am here to show you how easy it is. This mill is going to be huge. It's going to save us so much money in lumber. Because we have an entire forest, we really want to create a regenerative system where we're using up all of the dead logs, hauling them down, and we're going to show you that tomorrow, and making sure that we're either replanting or new growth is happening. We always want our forest to stay that thick and lush, so we don't have any plans of thinning it out. We're going to get our tree today. I let Parker take the ATV. I like the e-bike. This is the first time we're getting the ATV up into the back forest, so we're gonna see how it goes. So we gotta clear a path for the ATV first. Parker and I are taking sections, so we're clearing out a couple sections at a time. Hopefully next time we can ride up here on the ATV. Whoa! Woo! Woo! What often happens with cedars is they rot from the inside, so it could look like it's a good piece of wood to mill, but if it's already started to rot, the center will have a big hole in it, so you won't get as much wood out of it.
Do you want to know why it rots?
Yeah.
The center of a cedar will rot. All the strength from a tree comes from the outside.
Okay.
So think of it as like an arch, right? An arch is like a super strong structure.
Yeah.
So you have like an arch on one side, an arch on the other side. So you have one side that's fighting compression and the other side that's fighting tension.
Whoa.
The inside doesn't do much, right? Think about like a metal tube, still super strong.
Yes.
In order for a cedar to grow taller, it gets rid of the middle once it's no longer needed, so it doesn't have to waste all that energy growing the middle.
So a cedar could still be fully alive,
Fully
but
alive,
have a rotten
fully
center.
healthy with a hollow middle.
So we've had our eyes on this tree ever since it fell pretty much the first week of being here. It's a big cedar, but it's rotten, it's dead. The fairy village is down that way. So we're either gonna mill it or we're gonna get it out of the pathway. Let's see how rotten it is and if we can make it into some boards. Oh, look at that hollow center. Nope. I don't think that can be our shelf.
So that's why it's hard to get big slabs out of cedars.
That's why cedar's so expensive.
So expensive. You get so little wood.
It stopped. That's a good cedar now. So we cut off just over 8 feet because that's how long we want the shelf to be, and it'll be much more manageable to get it out of here. We're gonna take the rest of it down, and you can see like this, it just made a mess of this forest over here. And this is the path to the wonderful fairy village, the waterfall over there. Have any of you watched Big Timber on Netflix? That's what I feel like. We're loggers now. Sustainable loggers. Woohoo! Under here. Oh, I got it. Woohoo! Oh, I need a little more. You got Oh my goodness. Wow, it's looking great. You guys recognize that? That's my log cabin build still standing. We're even going downhill and it's working. Okay, we're about to get to a really tricky part. Oh gosh. Oh, it's detached from the cone. Oh my god. It worked! It worked! Here she comes! So this cone that we just used to drag it down is specifically for this purpose. It's a super thick plastic, and then you just put it on the stump so that it doesn't get caught on rocks and trees, and it did an amazing job. You just put the winch or the rope through here. Now we gotta get it up onto the mill. Don't you wish you could be a fly on the wall sometimes? One of the most common comments I got when I announced that I was buying land and I was going to be here by myself a lot of the time was, you need to protect yourself, you need to not show your property online. But I do have security measures in place, and a partner that's helping me out is Reolink. Living off-grid and in the forest is peaceful, but it also means I'm responsible for my own safety and security. That's why I rely on Reolink, who is a leader in the camera security industry. I chose the Reolink Atlas PT Ultra cameras. They're 4K, pan and tilt, and smart detection that can tell the difference between animal, vehicles, and people. It's perfect for catching wildlife, like who snooped in your garbage can, but most importantly, unexpected visitors. They were super simple to put up, and the best part, they're wireless, relying solely on the solar power. I mounted them on trees and plugged them into these solar power. With just 2 to 3 hours of sunlight a day, they stayed fully charged. I haven't had a problem, even in my very shaded tree covered area. They've been running 24/7 and in pouring rain. From my phone, I can zoom in, pan, tilt, have full control. But they also have auto tracking, so they'll follow the subject in motion, giving you maximum coverage, which was essential in my case. Whether I'm home or on the road, I always know what's happening around my cabin. I also chose the Reolink E1 Outdoor Pro. It is connected to my power and still gives me a lot of the same features, 4K clarity, even at night. Both cameras can alert my phone when there's motion, but they have smart alerts, so I only get pinged when it actually matters. And for my safety, I do have other cameras at other angles, but I'm not gonna show them on the internet. I spend a lot of time alone out here, so having a system like this gives me peace of mind. Everything's recorded to my phone and to a local SD card, so even if the Wi-Fi goes out, it's still stored. The antenna on it actually works amazing to connect to my data and Wi-Fi. I don't get Wi-Fi up the hill here, but my camera does. And there's no monthly fees. Once you buy the camera, you're good to go. If you want to level up your home security, check out Reolink. I'll link everything in the description. They have a ton of different options, and they're having Prime Day sales with great discounts up to 50% off. Thank you so much to Reolink for supporting the channel, and if you use the links in my description. Now that I have eyes in the back of my head, we have to get back to work. Whoa!
Higher than the rocks.
Maybe we should just pile it on the rocks. Ah! No!
Okay, perfect.
There is a tool for this, somewhere in one of those boxes. The shelf needs to be pretty deep.
Yeah.
We're getting about 8-inch depth shelves, 1.5 inch wide, and we're probably gonna get 3 of those. Wow!
Those are beautiful.
Those are beautiful. So these need to dry for a few days once they're cut, and then we're going to clean up the bark and we're going to treat it so that these will essentially be waterproof. If you put a cup on it and it has a little bit of water, it's not going to ruin the wood. So you want to take the bark off because that's what causes rot long term in your wood. and it's still a live edge. It still looks really pretty. I feel like this tree is really special because it fell within the first week of us being here, so it was almost like a gift to us. Yeah, we only want to use dead or fallen trees and clean up the forest. There's a lot of it up there, so. Whoa. Inside here is so wet to the touch. So if you leave the bark on, this moisture just gets trapped in there. Mold, rot, all that stuff.
You've ever had in your life. And honestly, it got me over a lot of my...
And these are our 5 main boards. So 2 or 3 of them are gonna go in the kitchen and the rest can go somewhere else. It's been a long day, but we have them drying in one of the woodshed stalls. And the last step we need to do is seal the ends. If you don't seal the ends, so milled wood starts drying right away, and it dries from the ends first and works its way in, and then it'll cause cracking. So you want to seal the ends to make sure it doesn't crack or warp or dry unevenly. We are using latex paint that we found from our mystery bin of paint. We just have the ends painted. There. So that rain turned into a huge lightning storm. We saw the lightning, and within the same moment, thunder so loud, it shook our entire cabin. Both of us gasped and looked at each other. I thought lightning just struck our antenna. 15 minutes go by and our yard doesn't seem to have any smoke or fire. And then we see it up at the top of the mountain. Lightning caused fire near our place. So it's currently up there right now. The wildfire department has been called. I'm not really sure what's going to happen from here. It has been rainy and it's supposed to rain for the next 2 days, so hopefully it goes out, but there is an active fire near our forest right now. Fire travels uphill. It doesn't travel downhill very easily, so it more than likely won't come any farther down the mountain, but it is likely that it will take out a good bunch of those trees up there. So Parker's been on an adventure today.
So was able to hike up to get to the fire before wildfire service was able to get there. And we got photos for them and drone footage and was able to give an initial fire report so that they could get some more information on it. We met up with the fire crew. They assessed it. They were gonna hike up there tonight, but they said that they got everything that they need. They're gonna come back in the morning. But in the meantime, it's raining out. So,
yeah,
and the fire's in a really good spot. It doesn't look like it's gonna go anywhere. Backed up against a cliff. So
I've never seen you run so fast.
I wish.
You covered so much distance. It's so steep that we have to show them your reward.
Yeah,
that you found.
Wish I put on Strava before I ran up there.
Ooh.
But yeah, I found a massive elk shed right beside the lightning tree. So
we're gonna put that above our fireplace one day.
Yes.
Or make knives out of it.
Or make knives, or both.
Basically, we are confident enough that it's gonna stay small. I think the team's gonna be able to put it out by tomorrow. I don't think this entire mountainside is going to go up in flames. So, but that is the closest I've ever been to a fire. Parker has been a wildland firefighter for a few years in the past, so you kind of knew the drill.
Yeah, it's important. You don't want to go up there and put yourself in danger and have them come rescue you, right? That doesn't help anyone. So, or stay a distance, get as much information as you can. And that's what helps them the most. You going up there and trying to fight the fire yourself doesn't help anyone.
They were planning to do a completely alternate route that would have taken way longer because they don't know that mountainside as well. And because we had aerial footage and ground footage, I mean, honestly, I think there's just one more thing left to do. These are wild raspberry bushes, and you can see that they're not quite ripe enough, but almost there. There's a whole field of them. I'm hiking up in the forest, and there has been a casualty. Mr. Gnome! Oh no, his leg is broken! Ah! Oh my gosh! Sir, who did this trust you. Thank you for looking after the fairy village. I'm sorry I could not protect you.